Today, I'm going to show y'all how to set up your wiring harness for your swaps because I hate seeing people spend money on TDI pumps. The first thing I noticed is everybody says go out and get yourself a Bentley service manual. It's the most complete, best book there is for Volkswagen, all that stuff. Now I agree it's the best for a lot of stuff, but when you go to the wiring harness section, you've got an index. It tells you which page your battery ignition switch is on, and you go to that page and it shows you this one little tiny spot right here of that part of the wiring harness. You can piece it all together. I never got to where I used this. So what I did is I went and I got the Haynes book, the old one. Look how yellow the pages are. This has a straight up wiring diagram in it. It tells you what unit number 1 is, and then you go down to number 1 and it tells you where the wires for number 1 go. This is your ECU side. This side is your pinout. It says straight up which pin you're at, and then it tells you what color wire you're at over here too. So what I did to start out with is you take your ECU, it's up in your windshield wiper cowling area. You pull that out, you pull the wiring off all the way down to your engine. Just right here, it unclips, right? These are all your other sensors, these unclip. You go back to your wiring harness on your firewall, you cut that off right at the firewall. You go inside to the car, you take your fuse panel, you cut that off this far out. So then you got the start for your standalone wiring harness that you're building. After you do that, all you have to do is wire in about 8 sensors, really, to get it going. And by wiring 8 sensors, I mean, this has 4 wires. This is for your map sensor. It's got 4 wires coming out of there. You have to make them a little bit longer. The majority of your engine plugs are still there. This is your injection pump and your timing plugs, I believe, timing sensor plugs. And these are all the ones that you don't even have to touch. This is the bulk of your engine wiring that you see when you're in there. So this is the part that starts to get really intimidating. Other than that, this truck is run off a positive cable, a ground, and a trigger. This could even be coming off your old coil wire, depending on what vehicle you have. But ignition switch, this is your on. So it ends up being a really simple thing. You wire in your OBD too, not so you can go get your emissions checked, but so you can look at it with your phone and see if your computer's even got power. See if you're even there yet. This makes a really nice diagnostic tool for when you're building your kit to make sure that it's even working, you're even on the right path. So what you do is you find out your pin and you label the wire that your pin is. So this is the stuff going up into your dash that you don't even have to use if you don't want to, but it is important stuff. There's a tachometer, there's your cruise wire, there's your vehicle speed sensor wire, there's your brake switch. If you don't have your brake switch and your clutch switch hooked up, there'll be a little stall every time you go to drive the truck. So it's best to have these hooked up just so it's less annoying every time. But I've driven a vehicle with that for a year and not worried about hooking up the dash stuff. But also tachometer, the tach's so easy. Just like any vehicle, it's one wire. Go into your tach for a signal, and then your tach has the power and the ground. So once you start to tackle this stuff and wire in your few sensors that you have to wire in over here, these dash pieces start to get a lot less intimidating when you think, I just got to run 3 wires, 4 wires for my cruise, 1 wire for my tach. So here I'm going to try to get a little more specific. I'm not a teacher, so bear with me. This is the 109 relay. You don't have to use a 109 relay, but I did just because it came with the car and it was replaced new. This is the fuse box straight out of a 2000 Golf, right? So, the 109 is what turns your computer on. It's not what gives it power, but it gives everything else power, and it tells this guy to do what it's supposed to do. So, your 109 is 98. This is your ignition switch, which is number 2. So, this switch is wired to 98 with number 30 on the terminal. Ignition switch turns on 109, which gives power to this wire, which tells your computer to wake up. So that's your start to get your 109 wired up. With your, for instance, other sensors, this is a mass airflow, I believe. Let's see here. Number 42. Number 42. Mass air meter. This is an easy one. This one has 3 wires going back to your ECU. Number 68, 49, and 30. Pins are labeled right on these wires. It tells you which wire it's going into. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second wire is going to be your power. So that goes back to a fuse box, number 34, wired into this fuse, number 34, so that your wiring diagram that you have on paper matches the wiring harness that you built. This part is about the acceleration position sensor, your throttle pedal. So you hear, oh boy, this thing has 6 wires on it, right? 6 wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just had to make sure. Well, look how hard number 6 or 6 wires is to wire in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all going right into your ECU. 151, or I'm sorry, 51, 70, 63, 12, and 50. That's all you've got to do is put the right wires into the right pin here. And it even gives you the color of the wire there. So that's your throttle pedal wired up. Nothing. This is the part of the harness that you don't cut off. This is the engine side of the harness that's already hooked up to your ECU. So this is the stuff that plugs right into your injection pump and your crank position sensor and all that stuff. This is your glow plugs. I recommend hooking up the way they say to hook it up, especially when you figure it's just another 109 relay basically. So you do it the right way, it comes on when it's supposed to, you get the best fuel economy on that stuff. So probably hook that up the way it's supposed to go is the best way to do it. This vehicle, I hooked it up more of a hokey way. It was in Minnesota and it was 20 below, so I ended up taking a switch like this so that I could hold that sucker in for a long time to get everything hotter than it should have been from the factory. So that was more of a band-aid because my ignition timing was off a little bit. So at 20 below I had to hold that in for like a minute and a half, and then she'd fire right up, no big deal. In short, I'd say skip the Bentley, buy yourself a Haynes. They used to be $20, I bet they're $35 or something by now, who knows. But just get the Haynes book for a 99 through 2000 Volkswagen Golf. It'll have the 1.9 stuff in there. And then go ahead and look at your number pin, number 73. Put a sticker on it that says number 73. Here's number 20. Here's number 16. Here's number 62. Here's number 37. There's 121 pins. So go through and label all 121 wires. There's going to be a whole group of them for automatic transmissions and stuff that you're not going to use, like EGR valves. There's going to be stuff for your immobilizer, which generally you get your immobilizer tuned out, and that makes this job a lot easier. If we were going to be talking about an immobilizer hookup without tuning your ECU, you got to wire in more of the dash. So this does not apply to doing something like this. This applies to having your ECU tuned for 300 bucks, getting all that stuff turned off of it, turning the boost up, having it match to whatever injectors and turbo you've got going on there, and that's how you're going to get up to your 150 or 200 horsepower with your 1.9. So that's my advice. Wire it up like Volkswagen says it's supposed to be. You're going to get the best fuel economy, and that's how you get the horsepower out of them. So that's what you want. Thanks for watching, folks.